What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got multiple different things here to talk about. The new inflation report here is going to affect us here all going forward here. And we got a lot of different things here that just came out here, really. Check this out. Yeah, dropping gas prices drowned out by continued inflation. We've been seeing gas prices drop, but all the other inflation mostly not dropping or even up here based on the new inflation report here that has just come out. Yeah. And you can see here, quote, the scariest economic paper of 2022 predicts big layoffs over the next 2 years as the fight against inflation gets more intense. So unemployment's really low right now. It's at or near a 50-year low, but because they're having to slow the economy and raise interest rates, this could get really bad. Rising interest rates combat inflation by encouraging companies to cut expenses, often at the cost of jobs. An economist who served under Obama predicts a 6.5 average unemployment rate to reach desired inflation levels, which would be almost double what it is right now. That would mean millions of more people unemployed. Wow. That would reverse the current trend in which companies are scrambling to hire workers, not fire them. So, according to a new paper from the Brookings Institution, which predicts that a high unemployment rate will be necessary to combat inflation, inflation is typically inversely tied to unemployment. The rule goes that when unemployment drops, inflation rises. And when unemployment is high, inflation goes down. Currently, the Fed Reserve predicts the national unemployment rate will reach 4.1% in 2024. But the Brookings team argues that the Fed will need to push it, quote, far higher in order to bring inflation down to 2% target, which it wanted to by the end of 2024. We're not even close to that. We're way far away from that. I mean, we're still well over 8%. Quote, we find this unemployment path returns inflation to near the Fed's target only under optimistic assumptions. Under less benign assumptions about these factors, the inflation rate remains well above a target unless unemployment rises by more than the Fed projections. And I just did a video here yesterday based on the cost of living increase for Social Security and the data we got here yesterday with the CPI and the CPIW. COLA Social Security increase and everybody underneath the Social Security umbrella, SSI, SSDI, VA, survivors, RRB, everybody underneath Social Security umbrella might get, or it's probably going to get, the largest boost in 40 years. I'll link you to that video here at the end of this video, which goes over all the details and data of that. It's going to be a massive, massive boost for that. Two of the three numbers are already in for that. I'll link you to that video here at the end of that video, which explains all that here in details. But it's going to be a really large raise. Two of the three numbers are already in for that, so it's going to be pretty big. Several different states here are trying to or are sending more money here. I'll go to some of these here. Coalition lobbying for more stimulus funding to help the elderly. This is an interesting state here. Check this out. Increasing services that would allow more elderly people to stay and age in their home is the goal of a statewide coalition. The coalition is asking lawmakers to support legislation to use funds from the American Rescue Plan Act, the third stimulus package, to expand the state's program for all-inclusive care for the elderly, the PACE program. Expanding PACE in Ohio, a coalition of providing services for elderly Ohioans, met with Dayton region lawmakers recently to advocate for Ohio House Bill 600, which would use $50 million of American Rescue Plan Act funds to be utilized to expand PACE throughout Ohio. 50 million of the stimulus money is a tiny, tiny drop in the bucket, as they have billions of dollars of stimulus money that they haven't used. There was billions of dollars of stimulus money that went out to every single state, and not a single state has used it all. PACE uses medical and social services to help eligible seniors stay and age in their homes, says the president of Ohio's hospice services. We want to help them live in their homes, age in their homes, and PACE enrollees typically have less hospitalizations and less emergency room visits. I think this program is probably in a lot of different states. Ohio has the third largest PACE eligible population in the U.S., according to the Leading Age Ohio, a non-profit trade association. Next up, the student loan forgiveness stimulus program that is going to be going out to 43 million Americans. This has already passed through an executive order, but Republicans, like a lot of prominent Republicans like Senator Ted Cruz, looking to challenge it here soon. May or may not happen. I'll keep you up to date on that. Fact check: student loan forgiveness of $10,000 to $20,000 won't be taxed on by the federal government, though some states may. Okay, there's a few states that may tax it. So you might get a small tax bill or smallish, medium-sized tax bill from your state. Even so, that would still be better than the $10,000 to $20,000 that you're going to not have to pay, plus interest from the federal government. California, the largest state population-wise, California promises its residents that Biden's student loan forgiveness will not be taxed. So this is good news. Hopefully more states come out and do this on the state level. Here's the details on this. California confirms it will not tax Biden's $20,000 of student loan forgiveness plan. Other states like Indiana and North Carolina said the federal relief could be subject to state taxes. 4 million student loan borrowers in California won't have to worry about taxes on their debt relief. California leaders assured borrowers in the state they don't need to worry about that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Once the federal government finalizes the details of the student debt relief program, which they're trying to get paperwork out here by October, we will know whether the relief is tax exempt under current California law, said Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon and Senate President Pro Tem Tony Adkins. Say that 10 times fast. In a joint tweet last week. If not, we will make the relief tax exempt through immediate action in early 2023. Rest assured, one way or another, California will not tax the federal student debt relief. California was previously reported as one of the 7 states that could potentially tax the federal loan forgiveness, just based on like current state laws, I guess, alongside with Arkansas, Mississippi, Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Indiana. The Tax Foundation, a nonpartisan think tank, explained that the states in question don't have provisions in their tax code excluding student loan forgiveness from income. So they would need to take additional action to ensure Biden's relief is non-taxable. But also in the news here from Bloomberg, these 22 Republican governors want to block Biden's student loan debt forgiveness plan. So if you're in a Republican state, that might not be good news, because I mean, It's actually kind of sad because this is 43 million Americans that are going to be getting help. 43 million. It's a lot of people. And also this month there's going to be a um, food SNAP assistance program going on this month in about 2 weeks. Our and again, that's going to be by the president. Are the Republicans going to try to block that as well? Um, and again, I just want to see help for people. Hopefully, you do too. I don't know who the 43 million people are. I mean, maybe it's you, maybe it's your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad. Maybe it's a family member. It's a lot of people, and the Republicans are wanting to block it. I guess it's because a Democrat did it. Remember that Trump did a stimulus executive order for, you can see here back in 2020, Trump's executive order guarantees $300 per week in enhanced unemployment for some workers, and it was $400 per week if states decided to pitch in state money. Okay. So it's $300 per week for 6 weeks, which was $1,800, $2,400 for the 6 weeks if the states pitched in. Okay. So Trump did an executive order back in 2020. This was August 2020, before the 2020 election. And he did an executive order for this. He took the money out of the disaster relief fund, did an executive order, and sent it out to millions of people. In that case, it was unemployed people. It didn't benefit me. Democrats could have challenged it. I said Democrats shouldn't challenge it. It's going to help millions of people. It didn't help me. And I said, hey, regardless of who it helps, it's helping millions of people. And that's what the type of stuff that should happen. If people need help people, and then the next program goes out to help out more people. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, that's how programs work. Food stamps, food assistance go out, they help people. And again, I understand that not every program helps out every single person, but there's multiple different programs going on all the time. There's new programs going on all the time. And as my father would say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Trump can do an executive order for millions and millions of people, why can't Biden do an executive order for millions of people? It's an executive order, and it's giving money to people who need help. And later on this month, there's going to be another program for people on food stamps and food assistance. And there's been rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance. And Trump actually signed stimulus package one and stimulus package two, stimulus check one and stimulus package two. Biden only signed stimulus package three and stimulus check three. So again, I don't get to dictate who gets what help and who gets what. There's 31 states passing state stimulus checks, tax rebates, property tax rebates. There's been mortgage assistance, rent assistance, utility assistance, the paycheck protection programs, um, all these different type of programs. Um, and a lot of people in Congress have been criticized for taking millions of dollars in paycheck protection programs, money, and millions of dollars, and keeping it and getting their loans waived. And they're okay with that, but they're not okay with poor people and middle low income people getting $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, but they're okay with large corporations getting billions of dollars of corporate welfare. The CHIPS Act that just passed, that was almost $250 billion, which is almost the cost of the student loan forgiveness. They were okay with that, though. $250 billion going out to corporations. But when we give $300 billion to people, oh, that's bad. But when you get $250 billion to corporations like Intel, oh, that's good. I mean, you let me know your thoughts here. Intel and NVIDIA, they already make billions and billions and billions of dollars. I mean, and they're already wildly profitable. 87% of people getting the student loan, it's either 87 or 90%. I heard two different figures there of people getting the student loan forgiveness are people that make under $75,000. These are people that can't pay off their loans. They They go on to pay them for decades and decades. They're teachers and nurses and people that serve the public and could use a little bit of help. And again, this is just this program. The next program is going to be the SNAP and food stamp assistance, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance. There's programs like this going on all the time. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date with all the programs. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you up to date with the Social Security raises as well. In fact, click this video next. A massive announcement here on the new data that just came out here from the government will affect Social Security big time. And you can click this video here to see new checks that are going out here for millions of Americans detailed in this video as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.